Blimey. A doom loop. Sounds pretty dire, don't it? Yeah. Well, we've been warned by Andy Haldane. He was a Bank of England economist. He had a bit of a balmy with mention. He left because he said that, he didn't increase the interest rates quick enough. Could have actually, curbed a lot of the problems in the United Kingdom. That's what he said. A couple of 3 years ago now, but, I happen to agree with him. I was saying at the same time myself, it seemed bloody obvious, to curb spending somewhat to deal with inflation. But, we got high inflation and now it's sticky inflation. Shops are, they're shutting their doors all over the place. Bankruptcies in the United Kingdom have increased. Massively increased. Businesses are thinking to themselves, well, what's the point? It's not worth the candle. No. Stress and worry. Entering the gig economy instead and delivering Amazon. It's easier, less stressful. I understand that. Then you got those specialists and doctors who, during the pandemic decided that they'll stick delivering their Amazon parcels because it was easier. Less stress. More conducive to a family life. And now we're in a bit of a situation where we need around 40, 50,000 odd nurses and 60 odd thousand doctors. And it's growing. The needs of the country have increased. But they're in their supply. All this stuff, it fuels a doom loop. Because we don't have an economy that can actually sustain itself. I don't think there's any argument there. We have more money going out than we have coming in. And that recently just got a hell of a lot worse with the increase in interest on the national debt. Since our bonds, the gilt values have taken a hit. So for Andy Haldane to say hit that, I personally would agree, wouldn't you? It's flippin' obvious, isn't it? I'll tell you what I won't agree with is when people tell me it's all down to Rachel Reeves' budget. I think that's a load of bollocks. That's just an excuse. It's just something that right-wing media and left-wing can jump on and point the finger. We're all looking for somebody to blame, aren't we? That's just human nature. We all want answers to questions. Sometimes there isn't any answers. But we were always going to be in this situation. We're not alone. Other countries around the world are also suffering. The United States, the growth is around, just under 3%. Hovers around just under 3%. The UK's growth hovers around 0. And we kind of cheer and we wave our flags. Yes, we got 0.1% growth this month. It's pathetic. It's desperate. The country is in a real bad way. And I don't think that Rachel Reeves or any Chancellor is going to be able to deal with this. I think my feeling is that the country actually needs a recession. A recession that is hard enough hitting that it creates asset value drop. So the value of the assets just plummet. That's my feeling. So house prices come down for a start, you see. The only problem with that is the billionaires in the country will just gobble them up like they do every single time there's a recession. They're not going to lose their wealth. They're going to hold on to their wealth. So they'll just come in and scoop the whole bloody lot up. And become even bigger landlords than what they already are. But ordinary folk won't be able to buy a house because, where you have a recession, you have, you come out of it at some point. You have growth at some point. You always do, because you hit rock bottom, the only way is up, is what they say, isn't it? Answer yes. So, a lot of this has been talked up, or it's been fueled, has been made worse. The situation is made worse by the right-wing media constantly attacking, which is what they do. They're not just asking questions, they're attacking. There's a difference. And there's no balance. Now, watching Rachel Reeves this morning on Sky News, I don't normally watch it, actually. I've put it on today for the hell of it. Anyway, she was on Sky News defending her position. I don't think there's anything she could have done. Whatever she does, she's going to lose a losing battle. She really is. Now, just say that's a non-dom states. Oh, that's a problem. Class 4 national insurance contributions. That's a problem. All this, all crikey. So many billionaires or millionaires have left the country. They left the country because there's no investment in the country. There's no hope. There's very little optimism in the United Kingdom now. Partly because of the economy, partly because politics don't suit them. You see, a lot of these billionaires are all conservatives. You know, very few of them would support, you know, a socialist, or you could call these lot conservative actually, a socialist government. Of course they're going to leave, because they feel that it's going to cost them more to live there. Their businesses are not going to leave. Their assets are not necessarily going to leave. They're still going to be there. So you can still tax the assets. Maybe that's something you should be looking at. Maybe, if they haven't got it already, to have some kind of second home or asset tax in the United Kingdom. But if you don't reside in the United Kingdom, if it isn't your main residence, I see it all as a bit massive problem. It clearly, okay, obviously it's a massive problem, but we are heading for a doom loop. That's what you call a non-viable company, effectively. This was a non-viable country. We have more going out than what coming in, and borrowing isn't really on the cards. It's not much of an option these days because the cost of borrowing has increased considerably. It's become not just a massive situation, but it's a dire situation. And the United States now has Donald Trump as the President of the United States, which is going to cause even more disharmony in the United Kingdom because business relies on stability, knowing where they are. Donald Trump is too erratic. He's too erratic for businesses in the US as well. These businesses, the UK also invests in, they also invest in our businesses in the UK, vice versa. Where there's no stability, well, it's going to disturb or prevent trade. It just will, it just always does. And Donald Trump telling everybody he's going to invade Greenland and Panama, it's just madness. But that man is a far-right nationalist, if not a Nazi. We all know Elon Musk is a Nazi. In the day, he'd like to do the old Nazi salute. Luckily, Susie Wiles, the chief, White House chief of staff, she said, no, you're not getting access to the president. So Elon Musk has not got close access to Donald Trump. Just recently, in the last few days, she's done that. So, it's all up in the air. See, Elon Musk, now he's been ostracised from Donald Trump, and he's been speaking out a little bit regarding the AI against Donald Trump, actually. He's been doing video addresses for the AfD party in Germany, and but it's extremely worrying. It really is. The whole world is heading to the right. Yeah, even our socialist government is arguably conservative. It's mind-numbing. It really is mind-numbing. Now, and when you get economists like Andy Haldane speaking out like that, saying that we're at risk of a doom loop, and the Chancellor of the Exchequer, if she cuts spending any more than what she already plans to, we could end up in a doom loop, which she's already said she's going to be honest, it is planned. The problem when you do it, you see, what happens is you don't put any money into the economy. If you cut spending, people either lose jobs. Well, anyway, as soon as money comes out of the Exchequer, as long as it's not going abroad, it goes into infrastructure or goes into people's pay packets and stuff like that, you see. So, you do create a situation where the economy doesn't move. It becomes stagnant. And if people got their money in their pocket, they don't spend, do they? And this month it's been seen that, that's Christmas, it'd be a huge amount of spending, wouldn't you? Because it's Christmas. But many people are actually tightening their belts. They're saying, well, we're going to reduce spending, or we're going to just watch what we buy. Not so frivolous as they once were. Not so wasteful. People have drinks at home instead of going to the pub and all that sort of stuff. And that trend is increasing. It's kind of worrying. It really is worrying that we're heading this way. And I don't think there's any real solutions at the moment. I actually think we are going to have to ride it out. But I would say people need to prepare themselves. If sad thing is, not everyone's in a position to prepare themselves. Be careful where you're investing your money, for instance. Don't do Donald Trump Bitcoin, whatever you call it. It's meme coin. Yeah, that crashed. It's just... it's mind-numbing. There's just so much going on at the moment. And it is tiring. It clearly is tiring and very worrying. And if you're somebody who actually cares about other people, maybe you're woke or something, and boy, that is a bad thing, I'll never know. But, being attuned to other people's feelings, I don't see that being a bad thing, do you? I don't. Call me woke, I don't care. But it ain't good, is it? The situation, it really isn't. What do you think? What's your greatest fear coming into 2025? What is the thing that's really worrying you? And is there any particular videos, ideas that you would like me to touch on? I mean, a lot of the United States recently have probably done too much, so I've probably been annoying a few people, but I do feel it's all connected. Very much connected. We kind of, like I said before, if the US sneezes, we catch a cold, and we are too connected. And we do need to move ourselves away from the US economy, and it looks like this potentially could happen. We could be getting closer to the EU since Donald Trump has become the President of the United States. So that's kind of backfired on. So anyway, you tell me. Leave it in the comments down below. But please people, the like button, maybe subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support the channel, do a Patreon or buy us coffee, and links down below. Toodaloo.